Hi my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I haven't posted a video in a while, but there's a topic that I wanted to talk about, which is being shy. Now, I'm somebody that did grow up shy. I mean, I probably started being shy sometime in primary school. I don't really remember, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't really always a shy kid, but in primary school I did become shy. And recently, sometimes when you're shy, that can sometimes come with anxiety and so on and so forth. But something I've realized is how being shy can sometimes block my opportunities, or can sometimes block certain things in my life, right? I mean, being shy is not a bad thing, and being introverted is not a bad thing, because being introverted and being shy, they're not really the same thing. There are people who are introverted, they're confident, you know what I mean? They like to socialize with people. To me, being an introvert just means that socially your battery can be drained, right? So you need to, maybe stop socializing to recharge. But then there's being shy, right? Now, what is being shy? What's the definition of being shy? Another thing I want to reiterate is that being shy can sometimes fill you with regret. I mean, you were too shy to go to an opportunity, or too shy to pursue something, too afraid, too scared. Too shy. When we only really have this life as this person and this experience, and don't let that. There's so many things you can do in this world. There's so many dreams you probably have that you can accomplish, really, but being shy can really just ruin that for you. And whilst you're like, oh, it's not easy, sometimes you really, really just have to force yourself to not be shy. And it's not like it's just gonna magically disappear, but it's like you're forcing yourself to get more comfortable with being in those uncomfortable situations, right? Don't let your opportunities pass you by just because you're scared to do something. You know what I mean? And sometimes, yeah, you can, for certain things, even you can ask one of your friends to come with you or something like that, build that up. Because as you grow older and you start to build your life, sometimes there might be things that you regret just because of shyness, and you shouldn't really leave this earth with regrets. You know what I mean? Don't let your opportunities just pass you by because of shyness or nervousness, or getting to know other people, getting to connect with people, getting people to connect with you as well, understanding people. Don't let it pass you by just because you're scared. There's nothing to be scared of. Almost like you feel unsafe sometimes. There's no reason to feel unsafe. You're allowed to create that safe space for yourself. You're allowed to feel safe within yourself. No matter where you go, you should always feel safe within yourself. And I feel like sometimes even social media might have even made people more shy as time goes on, especially because of COVID and everything like that. But now is the time where you can build it back up. You know what I mean? Especially, it's good to start when you're young, especially, because when you're just entering adulthood, or let's say you decide to go to college or something like that, or you decide to start a new job, you can always network within your job and within college. College is really the time to connect with people and to network for real. So don't let those opportunities pass you by just because of shyness, because I feel like at one point it will cost you. It will cost you. It will make you regret something sometimes, because you didn't do that just because you're anxious. You didn't go somewhere just because you're anxious. What is being shy? So according to this, being shy is being nervous or reserved around other people, especially in social situations, like people you've met for the first time. For me, it was always like I was shy around people that I wasn't comfortable with. I just got to know them, but around people like my friends and stuff like that, I mean, I'm not gonna act nervous around my friends, you know what I mean? And yeah, and sometimes it can be, cause anxiety. So it's like, okay, for example, maybe like when you're like, maybe it's an example of this can be like, okay, you have to go, you're out with your friends and you guys have to order food. You're too shy to order food. You're too nervous to order food. You know what I mean? You get anxious having to talk to other people or go out and do things, right? And I mean, it's not a bad thing to not want to go out, right? But I'm more talking about when it comes to socializing or talking to other people. While you're not obligated to talk to other people, when it comes to, you know, networking and stuff like that, being shy can sometimes hold you back, right? For example, right? Recently, so I'm in a choir, right? And this choir, we have production every year. I joined like last year, September, right? So this was my first production. And honestly, I was almost thinking of not doing it. While it was my first production, I was honestly like I still didn't even really talk much in the group or anything like that. And yeah, even when I was like auditioning, like it was honestly on impulse. I mean, if I didn't audition, I wouldn't have gotten in, right? But it was basically, I went to the audition on impulse, really. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I like to sing. Let me just go see what happens, right? And I don't regret a thing, because it's like, so during like production, you know, we have to practice, we have rehearsals and stuff like that, and that does help bring you closer to people. But basically, I was literally thinking about it, getting anxious, because I also had like lines to say, and then I got 2 lines to say, right? And yeah, I'm not really good at public speaking and stuff like that, but also I do like acting and I do like singing, right? So at first, I almost thought to maybe not do production as my first production, and I was like, maybe I should drop out. Maybe it's not for me, you know, maybe it's not for me. But I'm so happy that I'm like, you know what? No, that's ridiculous. Why? Because I feel a bit anxious. Why would I stop an opportunity to perform? You know, why would I stop an opportunity to, for the first time, really perform? You know what I mean? And honestly, I'm really happy that I did it. I'm really happy that I went out of my comfort zone and I did it, because I loved it. I had fun, and you know, with my other members, it was fun. Like, I wasn't just there on the side. Like, I was like, no, I'm gonna talk to people, because how do I expect to get to know people or for people to talk to me if I don't talk as well? You know what I mean? Like, you can't really expect people to just approach you. Like, whilst obviously when somebody talks, you talk and you can start a conversation, but sometimes it can be like they say something and you don't respond back, or you just shake your head. That's not really a conversation. If you want people to talk to you, or you want to get to know people and have a conversation, you also have to talk to people, right? So yeah. And yeah, like, I was anxious, but I was also excited, and it didn't, like, when I was doing it, I didn't fumble. Like, I did what I had to do. I did my big one. But it's like, yeah, and I'm really happy, because it also showed me that, yeah, I can do things. I don't have to be anxious. I don't have to care who's judging. I mean, why would I care about judgment when the audience who are there literally paid to see us perform? That's ridiculous, right? So yeah, like, I really enjoyed it, honestly. At first I was shy. I was like, you know, I couldn't say my lines. I was awkward. But I really was like, you know what? No. Let me really think about this. Let me practice this. And so on. And I enjoyed it, really. Like, basically, being shy is gonna hold you back from things, you know. Not being able to do things on your own is gonna hold you back from things and opportunities and people and networking. Join clubs, join organizations, get to know people, get to network, because it can truly open so many doors for you. There's somebody out there that you might know that might have a connection with this. You get close to them, boom, you also get that connection, and it helps you in your career. It helps you So yeah, don't let your opportunities just pass you by because of shyness. I feel like honestly shyness can hold you back, and me now, I really don't want to be shy. You know what I mean? I'm going into my real I'm going into my real adult years soon. So it's like, yeah, and like when I go to university and everything like that soon, I want to be able to, put myself out there, join clubs, network, and so on and so forth. Because what's the point of me being in college if I'm not going to network? If I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so it's like, I really was just thinking to myself, like, when I was thinking maybe I should drop out, I'm like, drop out for what? Drop out for what? Or when I get anxious about certain things, I'm like, anxious for what? What are you anxious for? Why are you anxious? What I kind of meant by anxious for what, it's not like, I'm like, oh, let me stop being anxious, because that's not really how it works. It's more like, okay, I'm anxious about doing a certain thing. I sometimes think to myself, okay, but why am I anxious? Like, what's the reason for me being anxious over this small thing? Because you can't really control when you're anxious and, when your anxiety starts to rise. But I do like to ask myself why I'm anxious about this specific thing. So that's basically what I meant. I didn't mean it in like I was judging myself for being anxious, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes anxiety can literally, it is honestly so stupid. You can literally get anxious from like, oh shit, I have to go walk down the street, and you're anxious because of that. Why? It's just walking. I always think nobody's checking you, nobody cares, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, anxious for what? Sometimes you're scared to do things on your own. Why? At the end of the day, you're the only one you have. You can't depend on other people being there for you. When you go to like a job fair or a job opportunity or an interview, are you gonna expect somebody to be there for you? No. Like, honestly, I do feel like being shy can really hold you back. And I always used to hate being called shy. I always used to hate being called shy, honestly. And I'm happy that I was able to really put myself out there for that too. Because I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy it, and I would 100% do it again. As I'm getting older and as I'm, learning more about myself and the world and really figuring out what I want to do and really plan my life, I'm literally trying to lock in and not allow that to hold me back. Because at the end of the day, I have control over how I act. I have control over my actions, and I'm not gonna let that pass. I'm not gonna let that ruin. I'm not gonna let something I can control ruin something that can just pass me by like that and go on to the next person. You know what I mean? It came to you, allow it to come to you. We all want opportunities, but how are we gonna get those opportunities if we don't allow ourselves to accept those opportunities? Allow yourself to accept that opportunities. Force yourself to accept it. You may be shy, but you want to be an actor. You want to be, you want to be a singer. Put yourself out there. Just do it, because you never know what's gonna happen. Don't live your life with regret, and live your life. And you don't have to stress about it and rush into it. No, you still have your life to live, and it's all about baby steps. Just allow yourself to just be out there. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's all. I love you guys.
You might encounter many defeats, but you must never be defeated, ever. In fact, it might even be necessary to confront defeat. It might be necessary to get over it, all the way through it, and go on. I would teach her to laugh a lot. Laugh a lot at the silliest things. And be very, very serious. I teach her to love life, I bet you that.